I mentioned your report. You say something. Bronny was maybe being a diva, the way it was presented, that he's not flying, not getting on an airplane.
Let's talk about Bronny James. The Lakers have turned his rookie season into something straight out of a reality show. One day, he's in garbage time minutes in the NBA. The next, he's in the G League, but only for home games. Bronny's got talent, no question. But when's the last time you saw a second-round pick with 4.8 college points per game get this level of VIP treatment, huh? Let's get into how the Lakers are turning Bronny into a work-from-home player. Before we do that, though, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's dig in. Bronny James has officially entered his work-from-home era of basketball. And let's just say the Lakers' handling of the situation has been interesting. From the moment they used the late second-round pick on him, it's been clear that his path into the NBA is anything but ordinary. Drafting Bronny wasn't really about his stats at USC. 4.8 points per game doesn't exactly scream future star. But come on, this wasn't just about basketball. It was about keeping LeBron James, the face of the Lakers and the global icon, happy and motivated. It's not hard to connect the dots. The franchise's logic? If drafting Bronny means keeping LeBron engaged for another season or two, it's worth it. And hey, the idea of seeing a father and son on the court together for the first time in NBA history, that's pretty cool, even if it felt a little forced. The Lakers made sure Bronny's season opener was memorable. He scored his first points in Cleveland, his hometown, with his dad right there. It was a feel-good story that had everyone talking, even if it seemed a little staged. But now that we're a few weeks into the season, the cracks in this plan are starting to show. Bronny's NBA minutes have been minimal, just 16 across 6 games, most of it in garbage time, and they haven't been particularly impressive. He struggled to find his footing on the court, missing 5 of his 6 shots and showing the kind of growing pains you would expect from a rookie. And that's fine. Most players drafted in the 50s aren't NBA ready right out the gate. The Lakers, to their credit, did make what seemed like a smart move by sending Bronny to their G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. This was a chance for him to get meaningful minutes, sharpen his skills, and work on his game away from the spotlight. In his debut, he played 31 minutes, scored 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting, and filled up the stat sheet with assists, rebounds, steals, and even a block. It wasn't jaw-dropping, but it was exactly the kind of experience a young player like Bronny needs. But then, things took another turn. According to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, Bronny will only play in South Bay's home games. That's right, no road games.
He's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games. That he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player. He's not getting on United Airlines and going to fly and go see the others. He's playing this road games.
Windhorst casually dropped this on the Hoop Collective podcast, saying he's not getting on United Airlines and gonna fly and play in these road games. And honestly, it's a weird choice. This move has raised a lot of eyebrows. Part of the G League experience and professional basketball in general is getting used to the grind of travel, adjusting to different environments, and maintaining consistency. Skipping road games feels like the Lakers are trying to protect him, but it also denies him a critical part of the learning process. Here's the thing, Bronny is talented. He's got potential, a commendable work ethic, and the kind of coachability that makes you want to root for him. But raw talent alone isn't enough to succeed at this level. Development requires reps, and not just in practice, but in real games where the stakes feel a little higher. Limiting him to home games disrupts the rhythm he needs to build as a player. It also doesn't do much for the perception that Bronny is getting special treatment. Let's be real. Most 20-year-olds drafted late in the second round don't get guaranteed contracts, historic season openers, or carefully managed G League schedules. And while being LeBron James' son obviously comes with perks, it also comes with intense scrutiny. Everything Bronny does or doesn't do is magnified. JJ Redick, the Lakers head coach, has talked about how important Bronny is to the team's long-term plans, calling him a key developmental player. Redick has said the Lakers are excited to mold and develop Bronny under his watch, which is great in theory. But how does that development happen when he's not playing consistently? If the Lakers were serious about Bronny's growth, they'd treat him like any other rookie. Let him grind it out in the G League, face the ups and downs of road games, and build his confidence through experience. Instead, this current setup feels more like a PR strategy than a genuine effort to help him improve. The optics of this situation are tricky. Every minute Bronny gets, whether in the NBA or the G League, could be taking an opportunity away from another young player who's grinding to make a name for themselves. That's not Bronny's fault, but it's something the Lakers have to navigate carefully. And let's not forget, Bronny's path to the NBA was already unique even before he was drafted. His college career at USC was cut short by a serious medical scare, so his transition to the pros was always going to be a bit unconventional. But unconventional doesn't have to mean bending the rules. If anything, treating him like any other player would help him in the long run, giving him a chance to prove himself without the weight of constant comparisons to his dad. Of course, it's easy to see why the Lakers are doing this. LeBron is in the later stages of his career, and keeping him happy is a top priority. The father-son storyline is a marketing goldmine, and the Lakers are leaning into it hard. But there's a fine line between creating a feel-good narrative and turning the whole thing into a spectacle. Bronny's story is still being written, and there's plenty of time for him to develop into a solid NBA player. But the way the Lakers are handling things right now, it's not doing him any favors. He needs consistency, real game experience, and a chance to grow without constantly being in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. The Lakers must realize the shaky ground they're standing on with this Bronny James experiment. If being around the NBA team was genuinely more beneficial for his growth than consistent G League action, the back and forth arrangement wouldn't exist at all. Instead, they've opted for a hybrid approach that seems tailor-made for more polished prospects, not someone like Bronny, who is clearly still in the early stages of development. Let's face it, this isn't the best of both worlds situation that some might try to spin it as. The G League isn't just a sideshow for young players to dabble in. It's where they get real minutes, they learn to grind, and build the skills needed to contribute in the NBA. For comparison, take Max Christie, the Lakers' 2022 second-round pick. He logged 12.5 minutes per game as a rookie and still played in G League road games as part of his 15 assignments to South Bay that year. Bronny, by contrast, is seeing just 2.7 minutes per game in the NBA and isn't even suiting up for road games with South Bay. If Christie, who looked more NBA ready at the time, needed those reps, how can Bronny's situation possibly be justified? This decision creates a perception problem that's hard to ignore. Skipping G League road trips inevitably sends a message, intentional or not, that the usual grind of developing in the league is beneath Bronny. And how do you think that will sit with his part-time teammates in the G League, huh? These are players hustling day in and day out, trying to claw their way into the NBA. It's not just about Bronny's reputation among his South Bay peers. It's also about how this arrangement will look to players in the NBA who aren't wearing purple and gold goggles. Now, the Lakers aren't obligated to explain their decisions, but staying quiet on this one will invite a tidal wave of criticism. The optics are bad, plain and simple. Whether or not LeBron himself had a say in the final call, it's hard to imagine a situation where he wasn't at least consulted. And let's be clear, LeBron's top priority is, and should be, his son's well-being. But even with that in mind, someone with LeBron's basketball IQ must know this setup isn't doing Bronny any favors. Of course, Bronny isn't your average G-Leaguer. His name alone carries an incredible amount of weight, and flying commercial with his team could pose challenges for someone as recognizable as he is. It's easy to imagine the logistical headaches that come with managing his travel, security, and overall media presence. And yes, G-League facilities and operations aren't exactly equipped for the James family circus that follows Bronny wherever he goes. But here's the thing, it's not impossible. Let's not forget Michael Jordan and his stint in minor league baseball, where he famously rode the team bus like everyone else. Sure, it was a different time, without social media or a 24/7 news cycle, but the principle stands. If Jordan could do it, so can Bronny. The Lakers, South Bay, and the G League are more than capable of managing the logistics if they really want to. The bigger issue is that this decision feels like a missed opportunity for Bronny's growth. Basketball isn't just about what happens on the court, it's about adapting to the grind, handling adversity, and finding your rhythm in less than ideal circumstances. Skipping road games takes away from that experience and ultimately slows down his development. When the Lakers drafted Bronny, it was a feel-good story that had everyone talking. It didn't matter if skeptics questioned the decision. Seeing LeBron and Bronny on the same court was a moment that transcended basketball. His opening night appearance, capped by his first bucket in Cleveland, was another emotional high point. But this latest chapter, it feels like a lose-lose situation. Bronny doesn't get the full developmental experience he needs. The Lakers face criticism for playing favorites, and the whole experiment risks becoming a cautionary tale instead of the heartwarming story it started out as. At the end of the day, Bronny's potential is undeniable, and there's still plenty of time for him to prove he belongs. But for that to happen, the Lakers need to stop overthinking this and let him experience the highs and lows that come with being a young player in professional basketball. Because right now, this setup feels more like damage control than a genuine plan for his future. For now, Bronny's WFH era is a fascinating experiment. It's part basketball, part branding, and part legacy building, all unfolding under the brightest lights in sports. What do you think? Are the Lakers giving Bronny James the best chance to grow as a player? Or is this all about preserving LeBron's legacy? And can Bronny truly thrive under such a controlled and unconventional setup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the biggest stories in basketball. Peace.